Good evening, everyone. She is Guinea, and I'm Shweta, and we are from Guinea's Planet, and we are here with Polemy. And you'll see that we've come with a different background today because this is birthday month of Guinea's Planet, and so we just have a different decor for this month. Hi, Polemy. What
Hi, good
today?
evening. Even I have a different background today, but this is a less interesting background than the ones I usually have. It's just because I'm continue working and in this space, I could not shift. But and congratulations, happy second anniversary to Guinea, in fact, right, and to all of us because I think we are very much a part of the
Yeah,
tribe. Of,
yeah. Thank you.
okay, so the book. This is the book. The name of the book is Jamlo Walks, written by Samina Mishra, someone I really look up to for the kind of work that she does with children. Illustrations by Tariq Aziz. And and Shweta, this is the book I think is not only timely, but I think it's also very important to be read to younger children. Um, the topic is very somber, and we will speak about it, but at the same point of time, I think these kind of books needs to be introduced uh, because otherwise I feel we are looking in almost glass boxes, right? I mean, when we think about children, we do not understand that childhood is diversified. There is not only one kind of childhood, like the lived experiences of children are very different. Um, in the current circumstances, the schools we went to and the schools now are happening are also very skewed and different, right? I mean, so how do I know what is another child, maybe kilometers away, but having a very, very altered reality of his or her life is living through? And how do we know empathy and this? And otherwise, we don't know about other people's life. And I think that's why I find this book very, very interesting. Right now, we can ask questions and then like we will.
Right. So that means we already know why you're bringing it.
Yeah.
It captures diversity and empathy. So all in one kind of a book that we can see.
Hmm.
Uh, what is like the experience of reading it to your daughter?
So I think this is about the migration march that happened, and we all know that little children also joined. Um, Jamlo is a little girl. Because of livelihood, because of circumstances, she works thousands of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers away, um, in a working as a farm help in one of the places. And in within 4 hours last year, when the lockdown was announced and there was not much to do and the work shut down, then she joined all the elders in this long march, right? And the story is about her march, and the story is also about the lives of others. It interspersed with glimpses of another child who is logging into his screen to attend online classes, another child whose mother is sheltering her from listening to what the real news is, another child who is thinking why his cook is not coming and what the parents are discussing. So interestingly, it's also about experiences are not only what we live uh, on our own, it's also lived vicariously, right, through others, through the contacts, through our connections. And it's about that, right? And it's actually based on a true story. And I think many people also ask me that, do you want to really read it to your child, right? I do not find any other reason not to. Okay, because I think she needs to know, and I think we all need to know stories about Jamlo, that not to feed in guilt or anything. It's also to know that this is also what has happened at the same point in time, and while it is happening, you will grow up maybe thinking about them, and that's very important. It's a window, and so with Zuni, I can just say that she is still processing, and I would like to read the favorite part of our path, right? So uh, this is the page. There are two pages where she rests, and she says that Jamlo's chappals breaks. She is standing near a milestone that says Usur 20. She is tired and thinks she will rest for a while. She lies down under the shade of some sal trees. They stand straight like soldiers, thinks Jamlo. But it is hard to stand straight when you have been walking for 3 days, Some men walk past her talking to each other. They are saying corona kills, but bhai, so does hunger. And then there is and a leaf flutters, and then there is next this page. This stayed with my daughter. So she is not able to process the loss in its loss terms, but this one chappal, why is there one chappal? She has asked me 4 5 times, because so I think children do not articulate that, yes, I understood this has happened. It's in their question that they try to get more and have a deeper insight. Uh, because the questions that she asked me, that why is she working? Why is she away from her? Why is she walking? Why is there one chappal? And it has come many times again. So we are still staying with it at the same point in time. An interesting fact of this book is that this story is a real one. It has been covered by Pari, People Archives of Rural India. Samina converted this story to be a tellable tale for the children, because she believes that empathy has to be, inculcated not by only questioning but also about knowing. I broke down while I was reading that to her. Number of times I read it with my colleagues in a way, and we told it. Um, I guess she is still a little unsure how to feel about it. She's curious. Um she's not expressing, but she's just trying to feel it, and feelings are very strange things, right? Where it comes to it, right? She will sometimes take the book and look at this girl and touch, because there is a sack full of mirchi which she's carrying, and do that. Um, I guess as parents, you really don't need to do any other kind of homework to retell the story. Just read it as it is and just leave it as that.
Right, right, and I do understand the the dilemma that you shared, like from earlier when you said people really asked you whether you should be
Mm.
reading the story, and I agree with you that children will process things at the pace that they
Yeah.
want to, they can, but that's not necessarily the reason that we would hide everything from them, because much is happening to other children with other children in their lives. So I mean, and that's a reality. Like children are living it as well. So
So
yeah.
I always, I think, I mean, these days I am almost like, labeled to speak about this word called political consciousness, right? Now, political consciousness doesn't mean a political party, right? It means that you are aware of your own position and the power that position gives or does not allow you to give, right? And it is imbibed in you as a child, because if I'm thinking of cushioning, it takes me some time to come out of it. Whereas if I'm aware that this also happens, right? uh, Simple example, Shweta, and this is like, we are speaking a book and I'm also adding a little bit of context. When we speak about disability, my daughter had seen, I had seen when I was growing up with my mother, my daughter is seeing people all around who many other people can say different, but for her it's a reality. That's who she speaks to. If I log on and one of the trainees comes and she does that, she will understand it, she will process it, she will have names to it much later in life. But what is also happening, that it has become a part of a canvas, so it's not something very different. So loss is a part of all of our canvas, right? Yes, you can hold it on till some time, and it's also, I think I have no right to assume on her behalf. If she will not like it, I know she is such an assertive person, she will say I don't like this story, and that is it. Till that point of time, it's introducing literature of every form to her, right? And that's what I think we as parents and adults we can do, not from a moral high ground, but from something which is important to know. Because how, as I say, that empathy will come only by the precarity of diversity, right? That will happen to you. And so yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Follow Me, for bringing this book. And this was the 10th book, so
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
great one
Yeah.
indeed.
Mm.
So we look forward to next week, and looking forward to what you bring next. Thanks a lot.
I'm also aware that the last 2 weeks, like this week and last, the books are a little bit heavy, in a way, in a typical way. But I think books are books. Words are the lightest that can ever come to you, because they uplift you any which way. So I
Right.
think we will leave it at that thought. Thank you so much, Shweta. It was nice.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Dorothy, for joining.
Bye. Bye.